What if one simple change in the way you think could transform the way you live? What if the greatest obstacle between you and a more meaningful life is not your circumstances, not your past, and not your limitations, but the quiet beliefs you carry every day without even noticing them? Today, we explore the mind of a philosopher and psychologist who believed that our inner attitudes shape the entire landscape of our experience. His name was William James, and his ideas changed the way modern psychology understands the power of belief, action, and personal transformation. In this video, you will discover how his philosophy can help you take control of your thoughts, reshape your habits, and create a life that feels more intentional, more alive, and more aligned with who you truly are. Because according to William James, the greatest revolution of human life is simple but profound. When we change the way we think, we change the way we live. William James was born in New York in 1842 into a family deeply immersed in intellectual life. His father was a theologian, his brother became the famous novelist Henry James, and the environment in which he grew up encouraged curiosity, debate, and exploration of ideas. But despite the stimulating environment around him, James struggled deeply within himself. In his early adulthood, he suffered from intense periods of depression, anxiety, and existential doubt. He questioned the meaning of life, the reliability of reason, and even his own capacity to act freely in the world. These inner struggles were not a weakness. In fact, they became the foundation of his most powerful insights. Instead of escaping the questions that haunted him, James chose to confront them directly. He began to ask a radical question: what if the beliefs we choose to hold can change the direction of our lives? For a long time, William James felt trapped by a philosophy called determinism, the idea that every event in life is predetermined by prior causes, leaving no room for real freedom. If everything is already decided by forces beyond us, then what is the point of effort, courage, or responsibility? This thought nearly paralyzed him. But one day he encountered the work of a French philosopher who argued something revolutionary. Perhaps free will is not something we prove logically, but something we decide to believe in. And in that moment, James made a personal commitment that would define the rest of his life. He wrote in his journal, "My first act of free will shall be to believe in free will." This decision was not merely philosophical, it was transformative. It was the moment he realized that belief itself could be a creative force in human life. From this insight emerged one of William James's most influential ideas, the philosophy of pragmatism. Pragmatism asks a simple but powerful question about any belief: what difference does it make in real life? Instead of asking whether an idea is abstractly perfect or logically absolute, James proposed evaluating ideas by their practical consequences. Does a belief help us live better, act with greater courage, build stronger relationships, and create meaningful progress in the world? If it does, then that belief has value. Pragmatism shifts philosophy away from sterile debate and toward lived experience. It invites us to treat ideas not as static truths, but as tools for living. And this perspective has enormous implications for personal growth. Consider how often people hold beliefs that quietly sabotage their lives. Some believe they are not capable enough. Others believe success belongs only to certain types of people. Some assume happiness must come from external achievements rather than internal development. These beliefs may feel like facts, but in the pragmatic view of William James, the real question is different. Do these beliefs help you live a better life? If a belief weakens your energy, reduces your courage, and closes possibilities, then it is not serving you. And if another belief inspires effort, resilience, and creativity, then that belief becomes a powerful ally in shaping your future. Another key contribution of William James lies in his understanding of habit. Long before modern neuroscience confirmed it, James recognized that much of human life is governed by repeated patterns of behavior. Habits, he said, are the enormous flywheel of society, keeping individuals and cultures moving in stable directions. Every day we wake up, think, speak, and act in ways that feel automatic. But these habits are not fixed. They were built through repetition, and they can be rebuilt in exactly the same way. This insight carries a profound message for self-improvement. Change does not begin with dramatic transformations, but with small, consistent actions repeated over time. James offered practical advice for anyone who wants to reshape their habits. First, start with a clear decision. The moment of decision is powerful because it signals a break with the past. Second, act immediately. Delaying action weakens motivation and allows old patterns to return. Third, repeat the new behavior consistently until it becomes natural. And finally, protect your new habits from the influence of negative environments or discouraging influences. These steps may sound simple, but their impact is extraordinary. Every habit you build becomes part of the architecture of your future. But William James did not stop at habits. He also explored the deeper landscape of human consciousness. One of his most famous concepts is the stream of consciousness. Instead of seeing the mind as a series of disconnected thoughts, James described consciousness as a continuous flow, like a river. Thoughts merge into one another, emotions influence perceptions, and memories shape how we interpret the present moment. This flowing nature of consciousness means that our mental life is dynamic, not fixed. We are not prisoners of a single identity. Instead, our sense of self evolves constantly through experience and reflection. This leads to another powerful insight from James, the idea of the plural self. According to him, each person carries multiple versions of themselves. There is the material self, connected to our body and possessions. There is the social self, shaped by how others see us. And there is the spiritual self, the inner core of our values, beliefs, and aspirations. When people feel lost or dissatisfied, it is often because these different aspects of the self are out of balance. Perhaps the material self has been overemphasized while the spiritual self has been neglected. Perhaps the social self dominates our decisions while our authentic desires remain silent. In a world that constantly encourages comparison and external validation, James's ideas offer a powerful reminder. Fulfillment does not come from perfecting one image of ourselves, but from integrating the different dimensions of our identity. True growth means cultivating the inner self while engaging meaningfully with the world around us. It means building competence without losing authenticity, pursuing goals without forgetting the deeper reasons behind them. Another remarkable aspect of William James's philosophy is his openness to the mysteries of human experience. Unlike many thinkers who dismissed spiritual or religious experiences as illusions, James approached them with curiosity. He believed that subjective experiences, moments of awe, insight, or deep connection, can reveal important truths about human psychology. In his famous work, The Varieties of Religious Experience, he studied how individuals across cultures experience moments of transformation, faith, and profound meaning. For James, these experiences were not proof of any single doctrine. Instead, they demonstrated that human beings possess a natural capacity to search for purpose and transcendence. This perspective is deeply relevant in our modern world. Many people feel overwhelmed by information, disconnected from meaning, and trapped in routines that leave little room for reflection. Yet James reminds us that the human mind is not merely a machine for solving problems. It is also a space for wonder, creativity, and exploration. When we allow ourselves moments of reflection through contemplation, reading, conversation, or time in nature, we reconnect with the deeper layers of our consciousness. William James also introduced a concept that resonates strongly with personal development: the idea that action can generate emotion. Many people believe that motivation must come before action. They wait until they feel confident, inspired, or ready before taking steps toward their goals. But James proposed the opposite. Sometimes we must act first, even when motivation is absent. By acting as if we are confident, courageous, or determined, we begin to create those feelings within ourselves. This principle has been confirmed repeatedly in modern psychology. Behavior shapes emotion just as much as emotion shapes behavior. Imagine someone who wants to become more confident but constantly waits to feel ready. That moment may never arrive, but if the person begins speaking up, trying new experiences, and stepping outside familiar routines, the brain gradually adapts. Confidence grows not from waiting but from participation. In this way, action becomes a catalyst for transformation. Another central theme in the philosophy of William James is the role of attention. He believed that attention is the fundamental act of the mind. Wherever we place our attention, we shape our experience of reality. If our attention constantly focuses on problems, failures, and fears, our world begins to feel limited and heavy. But if we deliberately direct our attention toward possibilities, learning, and growth, we begin to perceive new opportunities around us. This does not mean ignoring difficulties. It means refusing to let difficulties dominate our entire mental landscape. In practical terms, this insight suggests that the quality of our life is strongly influenced by the quality of our focus. Every day we make countless small choices about where to direct our attention. Do we dwell on comparison and criticism, or do we invest attention in curiosity and improvement? Do we revisit past regrets repeatedly, or do we explore the potential of the present moment? These decisions may seem subtle, but over time they shape the emotional tone of our entire life. William James understood something that many modern self-help philosophies rediscover again and again. Human beings are not fixed entities. We are processes. Our beliefs evolve, our habits adapt, and our sense of identity expands as we encounter new experiences. This means that transformation is always possible. No matter how long a person has lived with certain patterns of thinking or behavior, those patterns can change. The path of transformation, however, requires courage. It requires the willingness to question inherited beliefs, experiment with new actions, and accept the uncertainty that comes with growth. William James believed that the willingness to experiment with life, to try new ways of thinking and living, is one of the most powerful forces of human progress. Instead of demanding perfect certainty before acting, he encouraged people to test ideas in the laboratory of experience. This experimental attitude transforms the way we approach challenges. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" we begin asking, "What might I learn?" Instead of fearing mistakes, we treat them as feedback guiding us toward improvement. Over time, this shift creates resilience. Life becomes less about protecting a fragile identity and more about exploring possibilities. In the modern world, where people often feel overwhelmed by complexity and pressure, the philosophy of William James offers a refreshing sense of agency. It reminds us that we are not passive observers of our lives. Through our beliefs, habits, attention, and actions, we participate actively in shaping our reality. We cannot control every circumstance, but we can influence how we respond, how we grow, and how we interpret our experiences. When we bring these ideas together, a powerful picture emerges. Beliefs shape possibilities, habits shape behavior, attention shapes perception, action shapes emotion. And through the interaction of all these forces, we gradually shape the direction of our lives. This is the quiet revolution William James discovered, a revolution not of external events, but of inner perspective. Imagine applying these insights consistently. You choose beliefs that empower effort rather than limit it. You cultivate habits that support growth instead of comfort. You focus attention on learning and progress rather than comparison. And you act even when motivation is imperfect, trusting that action itself will generate momentum. Over time, these small choices accumulate, gradually transforming your sense of identity. This transformation does not require extraordinary talent or dramatic circumstances. It begins with awareness. The moment we recognize that our thoughts and habits influence our reality, we gain the freedom to reshape them. We become participants in the creation of our lives rather than passive recipients of fate. William James once wrote that the greatest discovery of his generation was that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. More than a century later, that statement remains astonishingly relevant. In a world filled with distractions and pressures, the simple act of directing our thoughts intentionally becomes a powerful tool for reclaiming agency over our lives. As you reflect on the ideas of William James, consider this question: what beliefs are shaping your life right now? Are they beliefs that open possibilities, encourage action, and inspire growth? Or are they beliefs that quietly limit your courage and creativity? If beliefs can influence the direction of your life, then choosing them wisely becomes one of the most important decisions you can make. Take a moment to imagine the version of yourself that emerges when your beliefs align with possibility, when your habits support progress, and when your attention focuses on learning rather than fear. That version of yourself is not a distant dream. It is a direction, a path that becomes clearer each time you take a step toward it. The philosophy of William James does not promise an effortless life, but it offers something far more valuable: the understanding that transformation begins within. By shaping our thoughts, our actions, and our habits, we gradually build a life that reflects our deepest values. And perhaps that is the real secret behind a meaningful life. Not the absence of challenges, but the presence of intention. Not the certainty of outcomes, but the courage to experiment, learn, and grow. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment, and follow us for more personal training videos towards an easy life.